Quality leather boots are one of the most expensive types of footwear on the market, but most people don't actually know how to properly clean them even if they give it their best effort. Well, today I'm here to share my experience, and I've got the solutions you need that will entirely change the way you think about leather care. Make sure to stick around until the very end because I'll be sharing my top tips to confidently turn your boots from this into this in under 10 minutes. First things first, let's go ahead and remove the laces so we can fully access each panel of our boots. Leaving dirt behind can result in breaking down of your leather, which causes dryness, cracking, and creasing over time. And if you guys didn't know, the boot tongue is where most of the dirt hides, so make sure not to skip this part. Your leather will love you for it. Next off, it's really important that we brush off any loose dirt, dust, or debris so that we don't grind it back into the leather and cause scratching when we begin to clean it. And like I just said, look how dirty that boot tongue is. Today, I'll be using Eagle's premium horsehair brush, and I do want to note that it's normal, totally normal for a brand new horsehair brush to initially shed a few hairs at first. It's not going to make a difference for your brush since it's so densely packed. Just ensure that you're thorough. And if you guys don't already have the products you need to properly care for your leather, definitely check out Eagle's high quality supplies by clicking on the links in the description. I also have my exclusive Evumies discount code for your guys' benefit. It's just a little something to help you save while keeping your leather looking its best. I hope it helps. This next part is optional, but if you have really dry leather that has stiff and lifted fibers, you can gently sand them down so your boots are left smooth. Definitely, you guys don't want to do this regularly as this will eventually sand a hole through your leather. This is just to restore the smoothness and prevent those fibers from creating larger scrapes or holes later on. If you're wondering what sandpaper you guys want to use, you can either use a nail file or a high grit sandpaper around 1000 grit. Just ensure you don't press hard when you're sanding. Simply check the smoothness with your fingers as you go and sand accordingly. After that, ensure there's no leather shavings left on your boots, and then simply give your leather one last brush down before our next step. On to cleaning. Let's properly clean our leather, and today I'll be using some of Eagle's premium saddle soap. Now, there's a right and a wrong way to use saddle soap, and it's simple. Don't use too much all at once. Your leather is going to become damaged if you cake on the saddle soap, so just use a nice lather and wipe it as soon as possible so you don't soak your leather. Why do you want to prevent soaking your leather? Because it can lead to improper drying, which can leave your leather damp and then promote mold or mildew if it's left untreated. If you happen to use too much saddle soap, just take a damp cloth and wipe off as much as possible. And as you see, like I just said, as you clean your leather, just grab that microfiber cloth and wipe it off as you go. From there, just repeat as necessary throughout your entire boot, ensuring that every portion of your leather boot is clean and dry. And if anyone was wondering, these are a pair of vintage Red Wing $6.99 logger boots with a Vibram outsole and speed lacing design. And make sure you guys don't forget the boot tongue. As you can see, that is actually the dirtiest part of the boot because, as I said, it's the most neglected part as well. Most times we're all too lazy to unlace and unclean this area, but when you're doing a deep clean like this, definitely take your time here. Also, if you happen to see any greenish blue substance near your metal eyelets, it's called verdigris. It's not harmful, but it can definitely ruin the color of your leather, so you definitely want to use that saddle soap and brush to clean it well. Another important thing about saddle soap is to store it properly. If you've gotten dirt and grime in there, simply wipe it out with a cloth and ensure that the soap is dry, then simply close it up. Once you're all finished cleaning, ensure that you let your leather fully dry, maybe 24 hours or sooner, depending on your weather situation and temperature. Once your leather's all dry, we can begin conditioning. This is important because it's going to provide the proper hydration your leather needs to prevent creasing and cracking, which is enabled by allowing the conditioner to penetrate deeply into the pores of your leather and provide the flexibility it needs to last long. Today, I'll be using Eagle's all-natural mink oil, and I'm just going to be applying it liberally and warming up the oils with my fingers as I rub it into the leather. I want you guys to note that this product will darken your leather slightly, so you want to use it accordingly. Again, be thorough and then let it dry. If there's any excess that you see, simply wipe it with a microfiber cloth. For me, I'll be brushing the leather one last time before moving to the next step, so I ensure that the product is fully dispersed. Now that my leather is all dry from the mink oil, I'm going to give it one last brush down to ensure that all of the product is dispersed evenly. Now for one of the most important steps, using boot wax to preserve and waterproof your leather. Now everybody's different, your situation, where you work, however your climate is, your weather, your temperature is all going to be different, and you may or may not want to use it, but Eagle's boot wax is made from all natural ingredients like beeswax and lanolin, which provides a protective barrier that both repels liquid as well as gives your boots a beautiful shine. Note that this boot wax may also darken your leather slightly, less so than the mink oil, so if you really want to keep the color of your boots the way it is, don't use any wax or oil-based conditioners. But if you love that deep color of hydrated and well-maintained leather, this product is awesome. Also, when you buy boot wax from Eagle, it also includes an applicator sponge that makes the application so much smoother. Though if you do simply want to apply it with your hands, that works just fine, and of course it's safe. It's also good to use friction to warm up the wax so that it applies evenly as well. Of course, guys, make sure that you're dispersing your boot wax evenly, and do not forget the midsole. I do want to note that this boot wax nor any product on the market will actually make your leather footwear fully waterproof. For that, you guys will probably need to buy a boot that's marketed with a waterproof lining or membrane to keep your feet from getting wet. This product rather repels water and does so very well in order to protect your leather. I just want to create the right expectation and set you guys up for success, so just keep that in mind. Next, on to conservation. The main reason why boots and leather in general prematurely ages and gets thrown away is because it's not taken care of properly. For example, a super easy and important way to reduce creasing, cracking, and odors for leather footwear is simply by using a cedar boot tree. This naturally reduces odors as well as properly maintains the like-new shape of your boots instead of leaving your footwear to sag and lose its shape. So if you're wondering why some of your footwear seems to look old so quickly, this may be the cause. So try filling out your leather footwear after each wear, whether with a shoe or boot tree or simply newspaper. Now onto the laces. You guys want to repeat that same cleaning process and then run your laces through a cloth to remove any excess moisture. You can also simply throw them in a garment bag and then in your laundry machine as well. Last but not least, let's give our leather one last brush down to shine it up and then get these laces back on. Guys, taking care of your leather properly can make a huge difference, but you can't do it right without the right tools or products. So I hope that I've been able to share those with you today. Definitely go check out those links in the description and shop around for whatever you think is best for your situation. And in just a few minutes, we've completely transformed our boots and given potentially years back to them, all with simple and easy skills and tools. Let's see. Thank you guys so much for watching. Caring properly for your leather doesn't have to be difficult, and I hope that I've made it simple enough for you guys to do yourselves. If you've enjoyed this video, let me know by giving it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more leather care content like this. Leather can be so beautiful if taken care of properly, even after years of being worn or neglected. So I encourage you to steward your leather well and watch these videos next for more leather care tips, and I'll see you over there. Remember to love your leather.